Okay, here we are again. Hello, friends. Last time we talked about how I met Osho, right? Actually, Acharya Rajneesh. Now, I will talk about how Acharya Rajneesh and when he started to give talks in public. Interesting, yeah? Okay. He was in the professor, Saga University. And he was so good in talking and actually other subject students used to come in his class, which was a psychology class, because he talks so nicely and he gives a lot of general knowledge as well. So some of the friends asked him, the Acharya why don't you talk in public? Then many people can get benefit out of it. You have so much knowledge and you talk so well and you explain it very well. So Rajneeshji said, sure, I can do that. But my salary is 800 rupees. At that time, it was a lot, 800 rupees, yeah. And out of that, I give 700 rupees to my parents every month and 100 rupee I keep for myself. If you can manage with some people can do the contribution and manage 700 rupees for my parents, then the rest I don't care if you can do that. So that was very easy. Soon enough, some friends got arranged and then also after that they brought in Mumbai on a pedal road in an apartment that rented the place and then brought Rajneeshji and so residents will be there. And then from there he would start moving around all over India and then he would give his talks. So that's how it started. And also it was a hippie time. It was in 1970s and the hippies were coming to India in the search of truth. How and why these hippies were transformed into a normal people? Why? What were hippies? Why they were just wearing these clothes and rags and eating on the street and what was that question in their mind? Actually, their parents have gone through the Second World War and they did not want their children to have any difficulty in their lives. So they served them the food with a golden spoon in their mouth. And when these kids grew up, suddenly they have a quest. What is the reality? Why we are born? What is the truth of life? So they rebel and they were called hippies. They started coming to India. Many of them went to Rishikesh. And also because now the Rajneesh was at that time became quite famous. Already the neo sannyas has started by him. Now I'll talk about how the neo-sannyas happened. When Rajneeshji started giving discourses and talks, he used to go to any places, anybody's house, factory, go down, shop, any place. Then soon their friends started renting the hall, and then they were properly giving the discourses. Also, when they were traveling, he was traveling, many of them doing the shibir, the camps we call, and the dhyan shibir. That would be for 5 days or 10 days. And then he started telling people during the meditation, wear white clothes. For a while, okay, there was no harm. We started wearing white clothes. Afterwards, he was too smart. After that, he said, when you are wearing white clothes, why can't you wear orange clothes? Okay, 1 hour when you are doing the meditation, wear the orange clothes. That is the energy of the sun. All right. Then after, he said, now I'm going to start a new sannyas. And why I'm going to do this? Because all these pandas and all the priests, they are actually in their benefit. They are doing so much of a corrupted way of getting money from people and bringing them to not correct path, not really bringing to the true path of questioning in the spirituality and who am I, knowing their own soul. So Rajneeshji said that we don't need to run away from our family. In old time it was okay because people were giving dan, dakshina. Or so the sadhu with the orange clothes, the sannyasin, had no problem. Nowadays, this one person is earning and 4 people are eating in the house, in the family. He goes away, then who will feed them? So there is no need. You stay at home, you do your work, go to office, go to your business, and then do 1 hour meditation. And he gave quite a few different type of meditations. And some of the meditations that he has adopted, like a vipassana from Buddha, then Tratak, then Kundalini, and so and so. And then he created one dynamic meditation that he created himself. And he said, this kind of chaotic world and this life right now in this age, we are not easily able to sit in a vipassana. There's a lot of chaos is going on in life. So first you do the dynamic meditation, that is like catharsis. First stage is catharsis, then doing who, pounding to your belly, awakening the soul, and then silence, then celebration. And after that, you do the vipassana. So already your mind has been cleared out with all this kasha, all this junk what you have carried everyday life, in your everyday life, right? So this has started, and then, as I said, many foreigners started coming, Indians, and it became very popular, the neo sannyas activities. Although there were people, the traditionally, fanatically, I must say that, and they would not even try to understand, but accuse Rajneeshji and try to find the faults in him and all, and that's how create a bad name for him. But what he was saying was totally being honest, and he was totally against the suppression. So if you are suppressing your anger, your all kind of hatred, your sexuality, and he is not saying go and just go and be the violent in any of your act, but he said there is a therapy. So that's why when he gave different meditation, and during that time, slowly, we also got in Pune a palace, small palace, and that we made his residence. And that was in 1974. Then we got one more house. That was another house that some of the residents who will take care of the ashram. And now he has moved from Mumbai to Pune. That was on 21st March 1974. And the name was given Acharya Sri Rajneesh Ashram. So, and then more activity started. And it was flourishing like anything, his books, his tapes, and then some group therapies were also done according to the West, because Western people were coming. So according to the Western understanding, he has also created different kind of group therapies as well. After that, we needed bigger place, so we tried to get it in India, but somehow it didn't work out, and then we moved to America, and we named the place Rajneeshpuram. Actually, we used to call it the city of the Lord of the Full Moon, Rajneeshpuram. It was 64,000 acre, almost 1.5 times bigger than Pune. In the beginning, it was a muddy land, totally desert. From that, we created an oasis. All the highly qualified constructions and architects, they all came together, and the oceans, we started to work very hard. We were working 14 hours. And then from there, it was an extreme weather. In summer, the light was till 9 o'clock in the night. And in winter, 3 o'clock, it will be dark. And freezing cold in the winter and extreme heat in the summertime. So, what we did was, our genius engineers, they thought when the snow melts in the middle of February, we will start collecting that water. Where will we collect? So we dug a lake which could accumulate 800 million gallons of water. That huge lake. Like if you are in an aeroplane and landing, trying to land and seeing a car on the road, little, like we could see our contractors and engineers working, so going so deep into that, creating that huge, we cannot say wall, it's really big. 800 million gallon water capacity, imagine. After that, even the water was so much that we had to create dam. And from dam they brought the creeks, made the creeks. And those creeks we did the farming. Just imagine. So this was the Rajneeshpuram thing that under Osho's guidance, under Buddha's guidance, so many creative things happen. Of course, people who want to say the negativity, you always will be see. There is a saying, where there is a Buddha, there are flies. Why the flies come? They come to the garbage. So it is a human being. Human being have all kind of qualities. Human being is one big, unitedly accumulating all kind of energies. Creative, destructive, positive, negative. Whatever you want to take, you take. So we did not really have any negative force over there because then our creativity would not be able to happen. So now this we had from see, masters are not afraid. Enlightened people are not afraid to speak the truth. So there also he talk about the dirty politics and all kind of game played by the politicians, and the government got very mad and took him to jail. First he took him to the court and then he some blame game and took him to jail. Now, surprisingly, because in America, in jails, there are televisions and facilities are there. So everybody was watching Osho. At that time he was Bhagwan Rajneesh. We used to call Bhagwan Rajneesh. I will go back a little bit. So how we started calling Bhagwan Rajneesh, okay, from Acharya Rajneesh. So there was in Matharan, there was Shibir, the camp. At that time, Ma Yoga Lakshmi, who was Osho's first secretary, she had a vision that he is an avatar. Avatar means a Messiah descending. So he said, can we call you Bhagwan? Then Osho said, whatever you want to. Everybody has Bhagwan inside. So call whatever you like to call. So then Bhagwan Rajneesh in America, he used to call Bhagwan Rajneesh. So when he was caught and brought it to jail, in the jail, the prisoners started greeting him, Bhagwan, Bhagwan, Sannyas, Sannyas, Mala, Mala. He gave, on the very first day, he gave in the jail to the prisoners 100 sannyas. 100 prisoners he gave sannyas to. We brought the malas from Rajneeshpuram because we didn't have mala there. And the jailer himself set it by his feet. And he said, I'm very sorry. I feel like I quit the job because a person like you, if they are doing such a, and they treated him so badly like a criminal that he treat. So he said, I feel so guilty myself. And Osho said, no need to feel guilty. You are doing your job and you are doing very fine. He was a vegetarian, so the prisoners, there is a space in between two cells. They used to put the fruits on the top of that and say, Bhagwan, you take the fruits because we know you are vegetarian. And that's how in the jail they torture him. In the last 12 days, he moved him from one jail to another to another. with a chain, like a criminal prisoner. And then the very last jail they took him, it was a no man's land. So no reporter could go. No reporter was allowed. And when they brought him to put his name and register, the officer said, write David Washington. He said, why should I write? My name is not David Washington. Why should I? No. So he started arguing. You do what I say. During that time, see how luck goes. During that time, two black women were being released from the jail. They heard that. And they knew Bhagwan. All America knew Bhagwan through TV, right? So she said, Bhagwan, shall we give any message to your sannyasins? Osho said, tell them what you see. So they went to the newspaper. The state was Oregon, where our Rajneeshpuram was built, right? So they went to the Oregonian newspaper, and they already, everything came out in the newspaper that where Bhagwan is kept. So now they cannot hide. During that time, they even gave them thallium. So it was very, very poisonous, and from that, Osho became very sick. Then we all came back to India, and then finally restarted the commune here in Pune. We will talk about that next time. Okay? Thank you so much.